Welcome back, everyone. Staring from Senior Gaming here. Today, we're running the Lost City of the Tol'vir. Tol'vir, I mean, yes. Well, we're gonna get started. As in the Cataclysm dungeons, as you can see, there's another artifact item here for archaeology to give you a boost while you're in the instance here. As for the quest, one is requiring you to take out the last boss, while one actually requires you to take out the first boss, but also the two ads. Now, each of the ads actually patrol each side here, so you would actually have to clear out groups on both sides if you wanted to take them down. And here it is, one of the mobs you need to kill, the Oathsworn Captain. Only thing you have to worry about them is when they cause a little earthquake. You just got to get out of it. Before we actually pull this guy, we're going to head over here just to take out the other guy. Now, our first boss here is General Hasem. As usual, he has the warrior ability known as Shockwave, which is basically different because it summons up actually earth spikes. Just watch the ground, just don't stand in the rumbling earth. Bad intentions means he basically grabs a random player and throws them up against one of these two pillars. Hammer Fist is basically when he launches a fury of attacks. Mist's Trap is basically on the floor here. You'll see little golden circles that start flashing. You just don't want to be in distance of them when they go off. Also, he can actually set off these traps manually if he decides to.
Invaders! You shall go no further!
Now this is actually one of the traps right here. As you can see, it's blinking, it's arming itself more or less. Here's his shockwave ability.
Tread lightly!
And I see they're getting ready to detonate.
Tiamat must not be freed! Turn back before it is too late!
Now there's actually two ways you can go through this. You can kill these ads, or we used a different tactic here, as you can see. We jump up here, do this. This is how we used to just pass back then when Kata was the current thing. This is what we do just to bypass to get to the next boss, which is Lockmaw. Now, this actually is a two-part fight on Heroic. Lockmaw here's the crocodile. Alligator, whatever you want to call it. It's a crocodile. There we go. It has a poison attack. With its tail, it can whip up dust. Basically, just don't stand behind him when he's starting to flail his tail. Vicious Rage is an enrage ability he has, which, if you have the abilities, you can remove it. Stand of Blood is he marks a random player, which causes other crocodiles to start targeting that player. Now, after you actually defeat Lockmaw on Heroic, Arg actually shows up, takes the loot, and you have to defeat him to get the loot. Now, he has a poison attack known as the Paralytic Blow Dart. It basically reduces your melee range of spellcasting speeds by 40%. He does Standard Whirlwind, He smoke bombs in order to stun people to kind of escape. Now heroic, as you can see, he has a frenzy which boosts his attack speed and damage. And he also has the major attack known as Dragon's Breath, which can disorient you if you get hit by it. So let's get this started. We'll take out Lockmaul, and here comes Arg. Yeah, I just felt like blasting him with that. Now, the way we actually skip these ads, after we go around that one way, we just come down this way and skip them. Now, all we have to do is fight the mob standing outside here. Luckily for me, I can just kind of see I ain't killing these guys. I'm just gonna move right past them. Now coming up, you'll have to... This is where groups could fall apart, honestly. To be honest, in my opinion, the two mobs that you would want to focus on the most is the Thurgulus and the Plaguebringer. Primarily, I would focus on the Plaguebringer first, because of the nasty poison damage. Now, groups would try to actually skip this group here, but I hate to say about 90% of the time, they get pulled. Unfortunately, that's in my opinion. Now we're actually just going to run up this way instead. Now these ads will attack you. They're pretty weak, so you can just easily take them out. Now we're coming up to the next boss known as the High Prophet Brand. Basically, he has two phases. Stage 1, 50 lashings is basically the next 10 melee swings does an additional amount of damage. Plague of Ages is a disease effect. It inflicts players with nature damage an additional over time. Heaven's Fury basically just causes down like a light strike on someone, which is easily avoidable. The Blaze of Heavens is basically a phoenix, more or less, as you can see. You just kite that around, more or less. Repentance, when he hits 50% health, basically he'll stun all the players and you get thrown into a darkness realm where the Harbinger of Darkness will show up. You need to defeat the Harbinger in order to get out. Basically, you just DPS the guy down, but you gotta make sure that when he casts Soul Silver, whoever has it runs the far away, because once the fragment comes out, if that fragment gets to him, as you can see, it will heal them and increase the damage it does by 20%. Now, I'm not sure if I can get it to phase 2, but we're going to try.
Be gone, infidel.
Guess not.
You are not beginning.
I have a feeling if I went barehanded, I'd still take him.
I am unleashed.
Now, this is the final boss here. I'm going to say Siermat. He has two phases. Stage 1, he's pretty much more or less immune to damage. It caused some storm bolts at you to cause nature, and cloud burst was basically a little cloud above you. Just gotta avoid it. Now the servants are little ads that show up. There'll be 3 of them. You need to defeat all 3 in order to progress to phase 2. Which you can burn them down. They basically have nothing but nature damage. Now though, Lightning Cratch If you stand in when they're causing that, you'll get a small buff. These guys, the little minions, they're just random mobs that you can burn down fast. Phase 2 is when he starts thrashing you around until his shield breaks. And then you got a bunch of fights going on. It's basically just the same thing. You just gotta be aware of your formation and where you're standing.
The skies of the south, rise and come to your master's aid.
But the funny part is I just one-shot him, so... More or less, the ads you'll see a giant bolt of lightning come from and shoot it towards where the ad is. You kill the ad, do 3, then he thrashes you around for about 10 seconds, and then you can DPS him directly and burn him down. Well, that's been the Lost City of the Tol'vir. Staring from Staring Gaming, asking you guys to please like and subscribe. Also, go check out my Twitch channel and follow there. Right now, my aim is to get to affiliate so I could use funds to better boost up my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.